2017 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Kevin Catfish Arcilla. Catfish, I'm stoked you're here. I'm incredibly happy to be here. I love this tournament. Very much looking forward to seeing what's going to go down this weekend. And also to see how this layout's going to play. So that we have the layout here for the Dallas event and for the next NXL event that's coming up. And this is the first time we've seen it played. And not only that, who's going to step up this weekend and become the college paintball championships?
There's a couple new teams to look out for. I mean, we got right here, we got Whitewater, Warhawks, making a jump up, taking on Drexel, which is a big task for them to get the first team out of the the gate.
Drexel's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're not unfamiliar to this situation, but we haven't seen the University of Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks here on this main field playing at this level of college ball. So big test for them. And, sometimes we've seen teams come into this level of play and step up, and we've seen other teams get obliterated. So, what's going to happen here, we're going to find out here in just a few moments before we get this first point started. Another thing that I love about this tournament, old school X-ball, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about 10-minute halves, majors and minor penalties. There's you got to go to the penalty box. This is the throwback to that OG style of ball. So on this first point here, looking like Drexel playing a little bit conservative.
They dropped a player coming off, and the Warhawks looking to they
yeah,
definitely ate up a lot of ground here.
A little bit more ground. They went out wide. Drexel went out wide as well, losing that one body. It's now 4-on-5, but better field position here for the Warhawks.
Oh,
as they have
dropping.
that. And, yeah, another body dropped for Drexel. That's two early bodies here coming for Drexel. Drexel's on the right-hand side of your screen. Warhawks getting into Snake 1 immediately after those two kills dropped off. So, we just talked about, okay, what do the Warhawks have? They're stepping up. They're playing at the highest level of college paintball and having a real good first point.
Yeah, it looks like Drexel's making a bump into the Dorito side over there. We got the Warhawks here on the Snake side trying to get an angle on him, trying to make his move up, trying to move their player from Snake 1 to Snake 2, and there's that move we're talking about. Looks like the Warhawks are coming out.
Well, one of the things I was also wondering, looking at this layout, this is a battleground snake, right?
Yeah.
Catfish, this is what you used to play the snake.
Yeah.
And this is one of those battleground snakes, but how much of a battleground is it going to be? Is this a send a guy to the snake, get him in there as soon as possible, have him gunfight his way down, or do you have to play a little bit more careful like we saw at the first NXL event in Vegas?
Yeah, this one, you're going to definitely have to gunfight your way into the next spot. Looks like Whitewater has all 5 alive still, and Drexel has 3 players, I believe. Looks like they have Drexel on their heel right now. Whitewater making it up to that big W in the center.
Yeah, so the Warhawks in good position right now. They have that center 50 wall. They have Snake 2, and playing it smart. They're not running into guns. They got those 2 first early kills. Drexel playing on their heels right now. You can see, looking over the shoulders of Whitewater right now as there goes another body for Drexel coming out of that stand-up temple. So just 2 bodies left alive right now for Drexel. Cat not getting a good start here to this match.
No, not at all. Not at all against the new guys, the new kids on the block here. It looks like the Warhawks definitely want to make it a point to let them know that they're here. They're not going to be pushed around. They're definitely playing smart, keeping it cool, like you said, not running into lanes blind. Looks like the Warhawks going into Snake 2 now, filling in Snake 2. So we got a 4-on-2 here, Matt.
Yeah,
advantage Whitewater.
Yeah, Fisher in the Snake. Did they lose? I think they did lose. No, still lost a body. So looking pretty good here.
Yeah, they lost their first Snake. I think that was Kowalski.
So a good cross-field spread right now for Whitewater. 7 minutes and 22 seconds left to go. Again, it's 10-minute halves, 2 minutes in between points. 1 minute minors, 2 minute majors. Throwback to the OG style of X-ball. Only place in the world, really, it's still played here is college ball. So, you know what, though? Drexel's holding tough with their last 2 guys. I like the calm and composed communication that we're seeing from Whitewater right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Still haven't lost a body. They're talking it up cross field. I can hear the communication all the way over here. But the 2 guys holding it down. Looks like another body, though, dropping off of that D side of the field and now loading up here in the red zone.
Here comes the pain train. They're about to punch this ticket. Oh, looks like the ref saving them back there.
So like Big Dave Baines from Impact would say in the pits, hey, they're not doing anything exotic. So nothing exotic from Whitewater here in this first point. All they did is roll those guns off the break. They got that first kill, immediately got a second kill. It was 5-on-3. and then just working their way up the field and really just shooting bodies out of the bunkers.
Yeah, they're definitely winning their gun fights here, and that's a key. A lot of the younger teams that are coming up, you know, aren't as composed as Whitewater looked right there.
Yeah, for a young team, definitely looked pretty composed. You know, they weren't running down the field. They earned all their moves. You know, they were okay. So if you're the new team and you're coming in, what do you want to do right away? First of all, win the first point, right? Winning the first point is always what you want to do. But the way they won that first point, knowing, okay, look, let's try to get a kill off the break. Check, did that. Let's work our way in the snake. Check, they did that. Let's work our way down the D side. Now, I'm still wondering what's the attack side. So at the first NXL event that we saw in Vegas, that D side was the attack side. The snake side was more of a crafty, you had to be really careful over there. It was absolutely, of course, it's every side of the field is important. But the D side was really the put a guy in and go side. Here, I don't know. That has yet to be determined. But I do like what I saw out of Whitewater in that first point. Get that first kill. Don't do anything crazy. Like, you know, Baines would say, nothing exotic. They didn't come with some crazy game plan. The only difference really in the game plan was that Whitewater took the stand-up can in the center, looking snake side. So are they going to run that play again? Obviously, the off-the-break shots are working pretty solidly. Now it's up to Drexel. Drexel, they got to play tighter than that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Whitewater came out with a plan, trying to stop their snake, Drexel's snake player from getting in there. And you know what they did? You know, Drexel never had a snake player in. Well, they never had a chance to. You know,
they didn't
shooting
really
that guy out.
Yeah, they were having survivability problems. I mean, as soon as we heard that first buzzer, Drexel was having survivability problems. Okay, look, you lose a guy off the break, it's going to happen. It's going to happen a lot. But the rest of their players, look at this. Drexel
wrong side.
Missing the side.
And
Vinay, so Drexel completely dropping the ball here. Drexel not able to get out two bodies, having to start with three, no penalty. They did shoot a body off the break, so it's now 4-on-3.
Gifts from the gods right
there. They definitely got a quick, so Whitewater, the new kids on the block here, the Warhawks, getting a little bit of a gift from Drexel. Is, you know, Drexel maybe a little sleepy this morning. They didn't get their coffee.
Right now. Is it two Drexel players?
I think. Well, they didn't get two bodies out, so they started with three. I didn't see a body drop, so I think that they still have three bodies alive. There's definitely two. We're looking at two on your left-hand side of your screen right now.
Oh, that's it, man.
Drexel.
Just two. Just two players.
That's not the way you want to start this.
2-on-4, that's, you know.
I know, look, you get a lot of points to play here in college ball. You have two 10-minute halves. However, down a point, only get two bodies out to start this. No, they have the third body. There's a third body up. No, actually, that's Whitewater in the center.
But Whitewater get chopped up trying to make it into the snake. Two players being eliminated on snake side.
So a little bit more aggressive here in this point, and rightfully so, as Whitewater getting that little bit of a gift. Actually, that's a pretty big gift. As some bodies weren't able to get to the start box, or Drexel, big mistake for them. There's Drexel crossing it up on the left-hand side of your screen, the back center bunkers, and there's Whitewater as they have a body now trying to make a big tactical retreat all the way from the center. He gets to the stand-up can, and he's going to want to work his way into the snake. See from his body language that's what he wants to do as we reach the 5-minute mark here. Some pretty long, relatively long points.
The first point was definitely long. Looks like the second one's going to be played out just as long.
So there's Leong trying to get up the field.
Cruz looking to make his way into the snake here, hopefully.
Hey, at least Drexel is the two guys that were out there, they're still alive. They're still crossing up. They've shot a couple bodies. It's 3-on-2. They finally lose a body. And there's Leong battling with the Dorito. Last player left alive for Drexel there on your screen on the left-hand side.
Cruz in the snake 2, straight into snake 2, looking to get into the Doritos snake 1 or snake 3. Oh, man. This is not looking good. They should just concede the point at this point.
Yeah, to preserve that time, it would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a good idea. We got Cruz trying to find an angle here on the snake side. Wow, Whitewater dropping another player on the Dorito side. Looks like Cruz trying to get that finesse shot on the last player back here. No, Leon's still alive. Oh, and Leon's bunker just seeming to get smaller and smaller with every move that these Whitewater players make up the field.
Yeah, so Kuzmin trying to finish this point out right now.
Yeah, Leon's bunker just getting smaller and smaller. Cruzman needs to make a move here soon. Oh, and Cruzman getting tagged.
Oh, that's a bad death for Kuzmin.
Yeah,
only looking at one body. Leong right here is battling. I mean, they started this point with two bodies. Leong, now, if he can get this kill, I think that might make it a one-on-one. I don't see any other bodies left. Leong did get that kill.
He wins it.
Look at this low body situation right now, and I think Leong ended up pulling it out.
Yeah.
How?
Wow. From the
wow,
depths.
unbelievable.
From the depths.
Right away, talking about, all right, who's going to step up this weekend? This is one of, I love coming, like I love paintball tournaments in general, but every year that we come to the college championships, somebody steps up. We always learn somebody's name for the first time here at this event and remember them as a good paintball player in the sense that, hey, they came to this tournament, and Drexel, just unbelievable, man. I can't believe that Kevin Leong pulled that out. They started with 2 bodies. It was 2-on-5.
He just won a he just won a 3-on-1.
He won a 3-on-1 and the second point of the tournament to tie this up.
Yeah. So
let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team. Love that Lauren Kelly is back with us. Lauren, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, so that was a hard point for Drexel, but it wasn't entirely their fault starting with bodies down. The rules were misunderstood and confused. Moving forward, teams will stay on the same side of the field for the first half, and they won't switch sides until the second half. So you won't see them going back and forth until after the first half. Back to you.
Hey, blame it on the refs, right?
Blame it
on the refs.
Blame it on the refs.
Might as well start the morning out by blaming it on the refs.
Refs, you suck.
So, wow, though, Kevin Leong, Catfish, I mean, what?
3-on-1.
Okay, look,
That's
how
impressive.
we don't really see, I'm trying to remember the last time I saw a team blow it, start with 2 bodies, and win a 2-on-5. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw that. I can't remember the last time.
A minute ago, man.
It was a while.
We just saw it.
But still, impressive performance by Kevin Leong. We'll see if he can continue to do that here for the Drexel Dragons. It's now tied up at 1, not a lot of time left. That was an incredibly long point.
Yeah.
And that's another question that we always ask out of these layouts. Okay, is this field going to play slow? Is it going to play fast? Which is the push side? Is the D side going to be stronger than the snake side? Can you shoot a lot of bodies off the break? All these questions we're going to find out here because this is the layout for the next NXL event in Dallas in just a few weeks.
Yeah, there's a big open, I mean, the field looks a lot open in the middle here, and we got the breakouts.
Man, I'll tell you what, talk about a momentum killer. We see our first penalty, and it's going to be Kevin Leong.
From here to 0, real quick, jeez.
Oh, buddy, Leong, you had such a good point, and you're going to come out and immediately get a penalty. So Kevin Leong, and then another major penalty.
Drexel just...
The penalty flags are flying here early in the morning in Orlando, Florida. 2 penalties for Drexel.
A red and a yellow.
Major and a minor, but they're going to get potentially get those bodies back.
We got we got 2 Drexel players left.
Starting with 2 was their move at the last one.
Like, this could be their move.
Maybe this is their thing.
Yeah.
Been running a lot of 2-on-5 drills at home. 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go here. You see the penalties. It looks like. So right now, yeah, Whitewater.
Does Whitewater have a penalty?
Here comes a move up on the D side. Wow, see, this is what I'm talking about. Another move. Leong did it out of his bunker in the last one, but now a big move on that D side for Drexel to try to save this point. You can see there, in position, trying to stave off the attack here. As Whitewater playing on their heels.
Drexel making a move out to the snake side, trying to open up the field for themselves here. Trying to see if he can, is that Brothwell? Brothwell trying to get that angle shot in the back, Dorito.
So Drexel now with 1 minute and 30 seconds left as we've had a couple long points. So we could see some low scoring affairs here this weekend. The referee is going to get in there and check out Whitewater. Looks like he is clean. But, Whitewater looked really good in that first point. But they're kind of playing on their heels, playing a little bit conservative. There's Bothwell. Now we're looking at the snake side right now for Whitewater. And you see in that red zone on the right-hand side, Cat, on your screen, that was the big move. Not sure who that was for Drexel, but the fact that he was able to get up there, slowed this point down, allowed them to get their bodies out of the penalty box, and now they have the field position. Yeah. They just got another kill.
Oh, man, and they're about to get another player here in 13.
Man, these past 2 points, these are the ones when you go back and you watch the tape, you want to get these points back.
Brothwell making it into snake 1 here, or snake 2.
Yeah, Bothwell into snake 2. Running out of time, though.
Like Kevin Leong. He coming out of the penalty here, making his way down to snake. trying to back up Bothwell here.
Yeah, Bothwell's in good position, almost into the red zone. He's going to try to crawl up to that 50-yard line. Leong's going to load a pod behind him. And now we're looking at the D side on your screen, and there goes another move. So I like the aggression that Drexel's bringing, definitely keeping their composure in low body situations. They got those 2 penalties, but they fought their way out of it, and they're about to take a 2-1 lead right now. So a real solid point here from Drexel.
Oh, they're walking in at 4-3. No point, man. You're walking it in. Nope, look at that. Just mistake after mistake after mistake this morning.
I understand it's early. I get it. But there's no excuse for that. I mean, Drexel got 2 penalties in that point. They got a minor penalty, then they got a major penalty. They did their time in the box. They made some good moves on the D side. They got a couple good kills. And then to completely blow it and not watch the clock, rookie mistake right there, Kat.
Definitely. That's like they're
and they're not rookies.
Casuals over here. No, they're not.
Drexel's been here many times. Let's check out this replay. This is frustrating to watch. So you're looking at, there's Cortana, Lawrence Cortana.
Getting blown up in the back there.
And, you know, just an unfortunate turn of events here for Drexel. But let's check in again with Lauren. Looks like she's with Mike Fisher from Wisconsin.
Thanks, Maddie. I am here with Mike Fisher in the Warhawks pit. Now, you guys are the new kids here starting out the morning. We haven't seen Warhawks in Class A yet. Tell us a little bit about the team. You guys came out strong. You're playing well for the first game here on Friday morning.
Yeah, this is our first season that we've been able to do Class A. We just got a bunch of kids that are really hyped to be here. Kind of a small school. Most of this is self-funded, so we're here just for love of the game. I think we're going to do pretty well. So.
How has your season been? Give us a little background on how you guys have been preparing for the Nationals.
Season itself has been a little rocky, so we've been doing all AA, so we've had everybody here split up between 2 teams. Now that everyone's together, I think we have a pretty consistent level of quality between all of us, so even when we're switching in and out, we should be able to make all these points.
What are some of the things you guys have talked about focusing on to make sure you can have a good showing here?
Absolutely, communication and trusting your teammates is a key for all of us. Since we're going from 2 teams down to 1, it's been a little rough, but we've been doing as much practice as we can just to make sure that everybody is on track.
You said it's been a little rough. What would you say has been your biggest struggle coming into Nationals?
I think the biggest struggle that we've had is not being able to play as much as we would like. Right now, our home field is not large during winter. Wisconsin, snow all the time. So we've actually been playing indoors at one of the gyms on campus, and we're using reballs there. So as much as we can practice, we practice, but fields here are a lot bigger than they are back home.
All right, well, good luck. You guys are tied going into the second half. Back to you, Maddie.
Thanks, Lauren. So we are in halftime right now here, 2017 NCPA Championships, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back. 2017 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. I'm Maddie Marshall with Kevin Catfish Garcia. And right now we're watching the Drexel Dragons take on the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater Warhawks. And a very interesting first half, Kat. Yeah. We saw a 2-on-5 victory, and great job by Kevin Leong for Drexel to hang in there. But it's tied at 1. because Drexel dropped the ball in that last point, not able to, they let the time expire. They had the point won. This should be a 2-1 game. Hyper-aggressive breakout right now for Drexel as they are up to that center 50 wall. They get a kill. Had a body trying to fill into the snake. That guy got stitched up. There goes another, actually count that, three bodies coming off right now for the Warhawks, and Drexel trying to win this one quick here, Catfish.
I think they're upset that they didn't get that last point here, peacocking down the field.
I'd be a little upset too. I mean, you do all that work and come back. They had 2 penalties in that last point to close out the half. They should have won it, but they just dropped the ball, didn't look at the clock.
1 on 5, man,
and
doesn't look good.
This is going to be the quickest point of the day so far, so now count it 2-1. This should be a 3-1 game in favor of Drexel. Unfortunately for them, it is now just 2-1, so still close here if the Warhawks can get things going. But, you know, the Warhawks had that first really solid point. They shot bodies off the break. They made, you know, conservative moves up the field once they had the high body situation, but Drexel just really stole that momentum, doubling up that center 50 wall, hyper-aggressive breakout in that last point.
Yeah, look, I think Drexel might have got their coffee order at the
finally,
half there.
Was that it?
Yeah,
they finally got that caffeine
because
they
came out
a little bit.
Yeah,
they came out a little slow.
Yeah, they definitely. But they the second half looked like they came out like the old Drexel, you know, getting in their faces, taking up that real estate up the middle.
Let's check out this replay here. So you can see the bodies up there at that center 50 wall, and that's why you get bodies up there early. If you get that body up early, you can watch that zone and get that kill as the body for the Warhawks trying to get in the snake. They also lost that their center as well. Yeah. Pretty much 3 bodies walked off for the Warhawks at the same time, and that was it for them. Real strong point for Drexel. See if they can get things going here or keep things going with a ton of time left at the 42nd point. And what a different point we saw. When we saw 2 points total scored in that first half. Some penalties, but again, you know, this is the first couple points of the tournament. It does sometimes take a little while to get things rolling, but it looks like Drexel has woken up. But Whitewater right now they don't seem, I'm not seeing what I saw in that first point. They're not killing anybody off the break. They need to adjust, particularly if Drexel is going to come with hyper-aggressive game plans. But what I'm wondering is Drexel going to pump the brakes a little bit and see if Whitewater pushes aggressively and shoot them off the break. Now, again, we don't know exactly how this layout's going to play. This is the first weekend that this layout has been out. No one's been able to play on this week. No one's had time to practice on this layout. So now here on the break, as Drexel does have an aggressive move again, with Whitewater sending a body to that center can, looking snake side, and it looks like 5 on 5.
5 on 5. It looks like Whitewater took more real estate up the middle.
Yeah, Whitewater with a little more like real estate, like you're saying, Kat, up the middle, but a better breakout on that D side here for Drexel, as they're able to make it into D2.
Well, they're trying to keep Kevin at bay there in the snake. Oh, look at this. Drexel making a smooth move up the middle there.
Yeah, Drexel coasting up to that center 50 wall, looking snake side again, and he's going to get on his horse. Nice move there for Drexel, and he is still alive.
That's not good. On
to Whitewater's side of the field. Whitewater needs to pick that body up. I mean, he is still alive there and doing exactly what you're supposed to do in this situation.
Thorn on the side right here.
Hey, if you hear that gun and it's shooting the opposite side and you know you can run him down and stay alive, that is best case scenario. So he is in there. He's starting to draw the guns. Body on the back bunker on the D side wraps around and tries to clip him out, but he's still alive in there.
Yeah, Kevin making moves up to snake 1, now letting him know where his players is. Oh, he's making great moves, blocking one player out and then just getting torched as he tries to make.
He did his work.
He definitely did his work.
He's limping off a little bit though.
He tripped up coming up the middle, Matt, when he made that move up to the W. Looks like it's Clement.
Yeah, so Clement emerging here in this game. I mean, that's the best move we've seen so far, other than Kevin Leong's, what was that, a 1-on-3 pulled off?
1-on-3 pulled off.
So, like, I like what I'm seeing out of Clement. I like what I'm seeing out of Leong. Leong now on the 50-yard line.
Yeah. Leong trying to turn the field on these last 2 Warhawks here.
Well, what I was about to ask before Clement started his second run through was, where's the rest of his team?
Yeah,
exactly. When you have a guy make that big move in the center, you have to be wary of that if you're a teammate, and you have to make those moves on the periphery, move up the sides of the field. So Drexel finally making those moves up and getting a couple kills, so this should be a pretty easy point here for Drexel. They're going to go up 3-1 with about 7 minutes left to go here in the second half of this match.
Hide behind the bunker trick.
Trying to burn the clock off. But looks like the point was conceded by Whitewater, so 3-1 will be our score. But back's against the wall right now for the Warhawks, Catfish.
Yeah.
With the way that Drexel's been playing, I mean, we're talking about 3 unanswered points. It should be 4 unanswered, honestly, with the way that the first half ended. And here's that move from Clement. Look at this beautiful move. As his opponent was looking cross field and talking, and he comes and puts about 3 or 4 on him, and then immediately gets in that bunker and looks snake side, tucks in there, stays tight, and then finished that run through and got another kill. So he got himself 2 confirmed on that move, but Clement was limping off.
Yeah.
This is a long tournament here.
This is the first game of the weekend.
Yeah, and you play a lot of points out here. It's definitely a grind.
Yeah, definitely.
This isn't a race to, you're not playing, this is 2 full halves of X-ball, and they're going to need Clement, especially if he's playing like that. So hopefully, hopefully he's okay. And I really like what we're seeing out of Kevin Leong as well. I mean, Kevin Leong is playing smart paintball. That first point that he pulled off that 1-on-3, that's impressive.
Yeah,
again, talking about early, but he clocked in early here, and he was able to pull that 1-on-3 off. It was 2-on-5 to start out the point, and because they couldn't get the bodies out. But he stayed composed, he stayed calm, he was able to get those kills, and now following Clement off, I kind of wanted him to go a little bit earlier, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Clement when he went, he should have had, guys behind him going with him, they would have been a lot shorter.
Well, they did go.
Yeah,
they just went
afterwards.
They didn't go
when they needed to go.
Yeah, when you make that big move in the center and those guns turn and it took a little bit for those guns to turn on him. So I understand a little bit of the slow play from Drexel, and hey, they stayed alive and they won the point, so I don't want to take anything away from them. But they could have been a beat or 2 faster on those secondary moves to back Clement up.
Yeah. Kevin Leong getting all these reps this match.
He should. He's playing great.
Out to the corner.
Oh, I think he might have got clipped on this one.
Warhawk coming off the field here, the middle.
No, Kevin Leong's still alive. So it looks like we have a 4-on-5.
Yeah, 4-on-5. One of the Warhawks. Oh, there's 2 Warhawks coming down. 3-on-5 now.
This is not going to help them come back.
No, it's not. It looks like, they're just dying out of their bunkers, losing those gunfights.
Hey, if I'm Drexel and we're up by 2 with 6 minutes and 35 left and we have a 5-on-3 situation, I'm not going to be in a hurry to go anywhere.
No.
I'm going to shoot my gun.
And they're not. And they're really not. They're all staying back in that gray area. All 5 of their players are in the gray area, I believe it.
And they don't need to do anything. It's up to Whitewater to push the issue, even with 3 bodies. In fact, with 6 minutes and 14 seconds left, and they just lost another body, and another one. They got to concede this point. Immediately concede this. Preserve the time. You're going to be down by 3. I don't know why they're not blowing the horn right now.
It's just an inexperience of the new level that they're stepping up to.
Yeah, I mean, this is, they're trying to pull a Kevin Leong right now and pull off this low body situation. 1-on-5, but
here comes
they're literally just burning this time off for no reason.
Here come the Wolves right here.
Clement up to that center, and here comes Bothwell getting to that 50-yard line, and that is going to do it here for Whitewater. But just a waste of about 40 seconds here for Whitewater.
Yeah, definitely. That point should have been conceded a long time ago.
Yeah, I understand you want us to play some paintball out there, but you want to put your team in a position to win the game. That's the most important thing, obviously, and now down by 3 with these long points out here. Also looks like a ref has grabbed one of the Warhawks' guns. So the ref's on it early here this morning. We haven't seen too many penalties. Oh, just that one point where we saw those 2 penalties, and I don't see a flag.
It was Cruzman.
So it looks like he's good to go.
Yeah.
Always, hey, man, anytime you see a ref grab a gun,
scary.
That team's holding your breath.
Cross your
fingers.
We've
all been there before. So there's the ref chronoing them on. So 5:37 to go, 3-point spread. It's 4-1 in favor of Drexel. And Drexel did not start this game out well. They looked bad to start out this game. But they've completely turned it around. Some good move. Bothwell's playing well for Drexel. Obviously, Kevin Leong, in case you just tuned in, pulled off a low body situation, pulled off a 1-on-3, and it was a 2-on-5 to start out that point. So, Kevin really clocked in this morning. And probably the best move we've seen so far here in this match, Brandon Clement with the run through in the center, did it clean, got himself 2 confirmed, and putting Drexel here in the lead. But Whitewater, they're just, they're getting I wouldn't say a slow start, but they're starting to die off the break, and they're not getting any kills, and Drexel has really started to play more aggressively, and they're making the moves that they need to make, particularly in the center. The center seems to be starting things off. I'm wondering, though, again, first seeing this field, no one's played this layout yet. Is that going to continue on through the tournament? Are we going to see the first push come from the center? Can teams, we haven't seen anyone go to the snake off the break. Looks like Whitewater smartly calling a timeout right now to slow the momentum of Drexel. Yeah, they need to talk about it because they're not getting a good look out there. Actually, I think that might have been Drexel that called that timeout because Whitewater was ready to roll, but regardless, 2-minute timeout here. So we're going to be back with some more action here from the 2017 NCPA Championships. Stick with us.
You know what makes paintball so amazing? The precedence is the top players will always dominate, and maybe that's true, just maybe. But the very concept of competition is that just because you're strong doesn't mean you can't be overcome. Every long shot or every underdog will tell you the same thing. The odds will be against you. The route to victory is a dark and windy road, but this test has no answer. This test is not science, it's not a textbook reference. This is a completely different universe, one where hard work and passion will always trump logic. The ticker has begun. In 5 seconds, that buzzer will go off. And before you make your first step, just remember, the past will not always add up to your future. No stat nor lineup makes the difference of who wins and loses until your moment arrives. And that is what makes paintball amazing. The new season has begun, and a whole new level of support is here. Take your team to the highest level of competition with industry-leading support and the best equipment paintball has to offer. And that's not all. We love winning just as much as you, and when your team wins, we all win. Join the sponsorship program and earn tons of free paint this year. Hear more at paintballsponsorship.com.
We are back. Second half action here. Drexel up by 3 over University of Wisconsin-Whitewater Warhawks. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly down in the pits.
Thanks, Maddie. Down here on the sidelines, the only differences I can really see between the teams and their mentality in the pits is that the Warhawks really aren't communicating after each point. When I go over to Drexel, the coach is breaking down each point, telling the players what they did right, what they need to change, but there's no communication happening in the Warhawk pit. They don't even know which guys are going out for each point. Back to you.
Yeah, and that's a good observation. You have to have communication in between the points. The best teams in the world, they do that constantly. When you're watching Dynasty or when you're watching Impact play and you look in the pits, as soon as they come off, they are having constant conversations about angles, about routes, about game plans, about how to play bunkers. Everything you can possibly think of, they are dissecting. So, yeah, I mean, Whitewater, again, this is their first time in A-ball, and they're new here, and you're kind of starting to see that. They did start this game out well. Drexel got a real bad start, but Catfish, what a great recovery for Drexel.
Oh, definitely a great recovery. I mean, they started up they came in sleepwalking, and now they're awake, you know?
They were definitely sleepwalking in the first point at least. But right now, good field position for Whitewater. They have some points to make up. They need 3 points just to tie. Only 4 minutes and 31 seconds to go, but they have Glowinski and the Snake. They got Lorenz up at that center 50. Whitewater is in good position. However,
Kevin diving into the Snake here.
Countering that move, Kevin Leong gets into Snake 1, and here comes a push up the center. Drexel did lose a body early, so a little bit of an advantage to Whitewater, but Whitewater throws that advantage away. They lose a body on that D side. It's 4-on-4 right now.
I don't think the Whitewater player in the middle knows. Oh, that, now he does. I didn't think he knew that there was a player in Snake 1.
Well, here comes the move being made into the red zone on the D side, and that Whitewater player, we got Lorenz in the center 50. He's probably going to get his back blown to pieces right now. He gets stitched up. Nice move by Drexel on that D side of the field, and that's going to crack things open. The rest of the bodies drop for Whitewater. Clement finishes it up, and Kevin Leong was also still alive here in the Snake. I love what I'm seeing out of Drexel right now. They've recovered very nicely. They are not allowing Whitewater to dictate the pace of this game. Drexel lost a body on that D side trying to extend early and get up the field. So they went down, but then they immediately took that advantage back from Whitewater. They shot a couple bodies out of their bunkers. So Whitewater having survivability problems. I don't hate the plays they're running. No. I like the plays, but just not much execution in their bunkers, and Drexel just proving to be the better team right now.
Well,
5-1 is the score, 3:44 on the clock.
Well, I mean, Drexel, like you said, is definitely the better team. They're more experienced. They've been here. They've been at this level. Where the new kids on the block are coming up. They don't know what to expect, and they're getting a big dose of reality right now.
I agree, Catfish. Let's check out this replay. It's definitely a little dose of reality. Drexel just proving to be the better team. This is a big test. This is the whole reason you play this game, though. I mean, one day, hopefully, if you work hard enough, and when we saw Lauren was interviewing him, they've gone so far. Obviously, even in Wisconsin is a tough place to play in the winter. You can't play outdoors, period, in the winter because it's so nasty up there.
Snow.
But they got a gym to practice at, as we saw those moves being executed by Drexel to finish off that point. But Drexel, there's Mike Zapanis, the coach, been around for a long time. We're going to see him up here in the booth with us this weekend. And he's doing a good job, just really keeping Drexel focused after that abysmal start that they got to this game.
Yeah, definitely.
But they've looked very, very composed since then. Other than those first 2 points, they shook that off, and they've been flawless since then. I really like what I'm seeing out of Drexel. Whitewater, though, Catfish, I know they're new here, but they got to step it up.
Oh, definitely got to step it up here. I mean, 5-1 is big lead that they're giving up here.
Yeah, and we'll see. Starting things off here in this next point on the breakout. 2 guns up in that back center for the Warhawks. They're on the right-hand side of your screen.
Everyone alive. Everybody alive, both sides. Nope.
Now we're looking over the shoulder of Drexel. There's the Warhawks.
2 Warhawk players coming off.
Coming off from that center. Yeah, center and the D-side, Cat.
And Drexel just walking into the center.
Yeah, so Clement making that move here in the center for Drexel.
Oh, catches the stand-up Dorito on the snake side on his back.
Yeah, Clement's playing really well. This is Drexel's. They're starting to put a beating right now on Whitewater.
It's a 1-on-5 right now, looks like.
And they smartly concede that point as that one ran away quickly from them. So, a rather conservative breakout for Drexel. They didn't risk anybody. Whitewater had heavy guns in that center, 2 guns up, doubling up the center stand-up temple. That didn't work out for them. They lost one of those bodies. They lost the body on the D side. Did you see if the body on the D, did he get shot running out? I don't think so.
No, he didn't. Everyone originally made their spots, and they're just losing gun battles right now. It looks like they're just not being too confident in their gun battles, maybe. It's just poking out into a stream.
Well, I don't really feel it's. And you tell me what you think. I understand. Look, everyone has their own mentality that they bring to a gunfight. But confidence to me is crucial, but confidence is also going to get you killed. If you're overconfident in a gunfight, I mean, you want to be in a position where you're confident, of course, heading into the gunfight. But you don't want to be overconfident in the sense that, and we always say, look, it's not your opponent that shoots you out, it's his paintballs. So you have to be sensitive enough to be playing those streams, but at the same time, yes, you want to have that confidence, but if you go in cocky and overconfident, you're going to get destroyed out there. I don't think that's what Whitewater's doing, but they're not exerting their will in their gunfights. They're just getting shot out. Yeah. They're not really getting shot on their initial moves a little bit, but that's not the thorn that's killing them right now. The survivability is the big issue, I think, for the Warhawks.
Yeah, then you start staying alive. I mean, you got to get to your bunkers and kind of just take a breath, Looks like we got the Warhawks here getting ready at their station, ready to roll out another point here, hopefully. Got Drexel coming in late again.
I do like what I'm seeing out of Drexel here. They really did pick it up. I like Clement up that center. It looks really smooth and polished out there. Yeah, bringing a little bit of style to his game. And now
Warhawks coming up the middle.
Hey, they need 5 points, and they need 5 points in 3 minutes.
Quick.
They have no choice but to attack.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying to let the center guy here from Whitewater know where everyone's at, but Drexel's just not giving anything. I mean, all players still in the gray area in the back.
No reason to go anywhere for Drexel. You know that Whitewater has to push. You have a lot of big bunkers in the back. When I first saw this layout, I was a little worried that it could play really slow on Sunday because there are so many big back bunkers. I mean, the stand-up temple by the snake is definitely probably going to get pinched out if moves are made on that D side. We haven't really got a true look at hyper-aggressive game plans, and we're about to get that right now with Whitewater. They have to make up points. They don't have a lot of time to do it, so they're going to have to push into guns.
Yeah,
They've doubled up the center wall right now. Looking to break wide, though. Haven't really got any bodies up the field on the D side or on the snake side.
Well, the Drexel players in the center back tempo, it looks like they're keeping everyone at bay, out of the snake and out of the Doritos. You know, giving the guys in the middle room to play around.
So minute 43 to go. Let's check in with Lauren.
Thanks, Maddie. Coach Zapp is down here on the sidelines telling his players it is time for story time. They just want to run out the clock, keep this lead, and not play too aggressive of a game. So we're probably going to see a slow point here. Back to you.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're seeing. I mean, they've doubled up the back center. They're just rolling their guns. I think they lost one of those bodies. So that's 2 points in a row now. No, he's clean. So took a bouncer in that back center.
I mean, they don't need to do anything right now.
They don't need to do anything. They need to do what they're doing right now. So they did lose. Wasn't the guy that got bounced, but it was the other player in the back center. And there goes a body for the Warhawks. They still have another one up in that center 50 with Lewinsky. And then here comes a move into the snake. A little too late. I mean, they have
Fisher making a dive.
Yeah, they have 5 points to make up. They only have a minute to do it, and this is when you just got to put a guy in and go. But
playing sloppy, you know, hanging out is not going to win you those points.
Hey, at least Fisher attacked. Yeah, at least he got into the snake. Yeah, he went to sleep on. Is that Clement again?
Yep.
Clement looks good. I like what I'm seeing out of Clement. He's very calm and composed.
He's having a strong game right now.
Yeah, you can see he's walked. He's definitely walked this field. He knows all of his angles. You know a player knows his angles when the second that he gets into a bunker, he knows exactly where to shoot. He's not head checking and looking for a lane. He knows where the guy is. He knows which way that guy is shooting. Clement definitely played some great paintball for Drexel here in this game, in their first match of the tournament. And there he is talking to one of the refs as he walks off.
Yeah, he just picked up a 3-piece on that point right there.
Yeah, Clement just, you know, having an outstanding match. Drexel pretty much has been flawless. This is 7 unanswered points for them. I was gonna say
8.
Flawless.
It should be 8.
It should be 8, but flawless since those abysmal first 2 points that Drexel has. If you throw those ones out, and I don't even mean, you know, again, I don't want to harp on them too much, but they got a real slow start, but they've looked fabulous since then. So let's check out this replay. So there's Clement getting put in from the 50 wall. But look at how calm and composed he is there. He's just playing that stream. We just talked about this. The stream is what you need to play. And then here goes the move. Yeah, Fisher making his move into snake 2.
He doesn't tuck in. I don't get it.
Yeah, he stayed out really wide on that side.
And allowed Clement to pick up his pack as he went into the snake.
So just 28 seconds left to go in this first match of the 2017 NCPA championships. And Drexel, you know, we still have yet to see all these other teams, so I don't want to say an early favorite.
Yeah.
But if Leong and Clement, not to take away anything from the rest of the guys on the team, but the way that Leong and Clement are playing right now, if they can continue to do this, you always need weapons, right?
Yeah.
We are always asking who is going to be the weapon on that team. But right now, it's definitely Kevin Leong and Brandon Clement. Let's check in again with Lauren.
Thanks, Maddie. Brendan Clement actually came off the field after that point and collapsed to the ground. I think he's feeling the heat. But going into this next point, I don't know if we'll see another point. They said it really is time to just stay in their bunkers and run out this last 28 seconds. Back to you.
Hey, Clement has been playing every single point, but it is a little bit early in the tournament to be collapsing in the pits. That does not bode well.
Not at all.
Because it's not, I mean,
Kevin's been playing every point as well.
Yeah, and so there's Clement sucking wind and gulping water down. And
that 3-piece took a lot out of him, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, Brandon, I don't know how old you are. I'm guessing it looks like he's 24. You're in the prime of your life, kid. You got to have a little bit more in the tank than that. It's just the very first game. It's going to be a long weekend, and you're playing great, but we need you to work on your cardio next year. So we got a little bit of a timeout here. These teams set to play this next point, probably the last point we're going to see in this match. We'll be right back. Under 30 seconds to go in the second half of this matchup, and it's been all Drexel since the very beginning of this game. Whitewater did put one on the board. Unfortunately for them, Drexel picked it up and has played a rather flawless game of paintball here. They're going to be taking a pretty big victory. We'll see with Whitewater, what are they going to do with this 28 seconds? I'm guessing probably doubling up the wall, Cat.
Yeah, they should probably triple and quadruple up that wall or something.
All wall? The all wall play?
All wall play would be nice.
Why not? I mean, you're going to lose regardless.
Yeah. I mean, they could pull something exotic right now, as Mr. Baines would say.
Maybe we'll see something exotic. So Whitewater breaking out as the Warhawks, as they lose the body trying to get to this snake. They send Cortana up to that center 50. He's going to be looking D-side, but
Drexel dropping a player on the snake side just as the Warhawks did too.
yeah, but Drexel just bringing out their entrenching tools and just going to be rolling those guns. They don't need to do anything to get that kill, as Cortana dies from the center 50. So that's 2 bodies that have now dropped, and that is going to do it. The end of regulation time, the final score will be 7-1 here in favor of Drexel. But Catfish, kind of like what I'm seeing out of Drexel. Other than the fact that Clement is passing out in the pits here in game 1.
I mean, it was a
I know he's
tough
doing
match.
he's doing a lot of work out of there.
5-1 is a tough match, bro. Come on.
5-1, 7-1.
Oh, 7-1.
7-1.
Oh, they put the points off. I couldn't see.
So let's check in with Lauren Kelly, and it looks like she has Brandon Clement.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm here with Brandon Clement and Coach Zapp. Congratulations on that win. Now, hey, we were talking at the half. You guys had a slower start in the first half. What do you think was going on there?
I think we lost a lot of our upperclassmen. So some of these guys, it's their first X-Ball match ever, but it's 8 in the morning. You know, we're from Philly. We didn't get our coffee yet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, go get some coffee. That's going to be important, I guess. Now, before that last point, you came off the field and kind of collapsed for a little bit. How are the conditions out there? Is it hot? How's the field for you?
A lot of playing around, which then causes a lot of, heat exhaustion. But, I mean, other than that, the weather's beautiful. I can't ask for a better time here in Florida. And thank you, Kissimmee, and thank you, Drexel.
And you guys haven't had any time to play this field layout and practice it at all. So, you practiced it yesterday. So what were some things you found about this field layout that you're going to have to execute, or how do you think it's going to play this weekend?
I think the snake side is going to play pretty slow. But once you get up to the 50-yard line, you have the whole Dorito side open to you. But off the get, you can get some good ground on the Dorito side. I think a lot of the games are going to be 1 from Dorito side and 1 from the center. If you can capitalize on a G from the center by shooting up through the W, that's going to give you a huge advantage for sure. And then if you can attack up there and lock off the snake side from there, beautiful game. All
right, well, congratulations on that win. Despite a slow start, you guys won the first match of the game, so we will see you again soon. Make sure you go get that coffee. And stay tuned, guys. We have more matches coming up.
So we're going to be back here. More action coming at you from the 2017 NCPA Championships of Matty Marshall with Kevin Catfish Arcilla. Miami University Redhawks taking on the Texas A&M University Aggies. We will be right back.